Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Surge, and I'm so sorry. I've been gone a long time, and I apologize for that. I mostly have been gone due to, honestly, just a huge lack of interest in this game. And that's not an excuse. I place the blame immediately on the developers, as I honestly just lost a huge lot of interest in this game when they did the new systems announcement, which got me pretty stoked and pretty excited, and I was ready to jump back in and play the game. But that was a while ago, and since then, nothing. And it's very disheartening. You know, I want to play other games. I've been playing Destiny. I've been playing Grim Dawn. There's just been lots of other stuff going on that it just taken my interest. This has honestly just been a huge time sink. And I appreciate you guys if you still watch or have been looking at my videos, which I haven't really seen a lot of channel activity, so I don't imagine many of you have stuck around. But I haven't lost any subscribers, so I'm hoping you guys will watch this and you'll really enjoy it. Today's ultimately just going to be me getting back to what I like to do, showing off some of my builds, and just kind of talking about what I want to do in the future. We're not really going to talk about the channel in relation to the server very much. This is purely a Surge video for the time being. There'll be a little bit of talk at the end, or maybe partway through, in regards to what we're going to do in the server. The server's not going anywhere, guys, so don't worry about that. It's been running pretty steadily on its own. Admin have just been doing their thing. Players have been on and off. There's not been really any events because admin sort of been disinterested as well. And it's not just been me, guys. I mean, I am StarMade Australia. I sort of am the voice, and I gotta make sure that people kept interested in the game. The rest of the admin don't really have the kind of responsibility that I do to you guys. They help me out, which is awesome, and I really appreciate what they do to keep the server lights on. They're a lot more help than you guys realize. Although most of the bill every month does come on me, which I'm perfectly happy to keep doing until it becomes too much. They do help out tremendously, which is awesome, and so do you guys. There's a few Patreons still kicking around, keeping the lights on, and I appreciate it a lot. So without further ado, we're going to talk a little about what I've been doing. I have been jumping on the game now and then between what I've been doing. I've been playing Destiny a lot. I really like Destiny. It's a awesome game. I've been having lots of fun. So I've been kicking around here though, and what I've been doing is I've been having some thoughts. Like, I don't really want to start a new project because ultimately it has led me to uncertainty with this new power update on the horizon. I don't want to start anything not knowing what I'm going to be able to do. Plus, I know as soon as that power update comes out, I'm going to want to redo a bunch of my old ships. So I've sort of started with that, working on the shell. So right now we're standing in the cockpit of what you guys might remember as the Screamer, or the Welsh Screamer, or the Idol, or whatever I've called it. I think the most common name I ever called it was the Falchion, but now it has a proper name. It is actually called the Knight, as in, you know, Knights of the Round Table, medieval knights, and that'll make a bit more sense once you actually see the ship. I know it's a pretty mundane name, but I just couldn't think of anything else that fit it. I was going to call it Paladin, but that's that's a little bit too cliche. At least with Knight, you can do with that as you like. But this is the Knight. It is white, so it is a white Knight. So it's going to protect your privileges. But no, it is pretty cool. I've had a lot of fun just, you know, dressing this thing up, making it look a lot nicer. First thing you'll notice is the cockpit has changed immensely. I've also added a lot of new interior. A lot of interior that has really got me excited to show this off to you guys. So first thing you'll notice, this is the captain's seat. It's a little bit changed. You're sort of sitting in this cage now, surrounded by the stuff. Also, you can't see straight out the front like you used to, because I have added a muzzle to the ship, and you guys will see that as we get out, and then that'll sort of let you guys realize why I called it what I did. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a wander through. So what I like about this, and what I'm going to keep doing for future builds, is little details. Just popping in little details here and there that just kind of make sense, like this little pipe here, just connecting up to this And if you have a look in behind here, you can see where the scanners are. There's some lights going on there. There's some lights on the roof, which I think if you press this button here, yeah, it turns them on, which is pretty nice. Nothing major going on. I haven't really fine-tuned a lot of the details. For those Patreons who are still kicking around, this is the ship of the month for you guys. So if you haven't received it yet, I dished out a couple of Patreon awards already just this evening. So for those guys who have kicked around and stayed with me through these last few months, I really do appreciate that. And you guys are awesome. And I will be getting this reward out to you soon. And we're going to have to change up how the Patreon thing works. I want to keep you guys being able to support me, and I do appreciate everything you do. And I still want to be able to reward you, but we're going to definitely change how that works because it just isn't something that I don't think I'm going to keep being able to do, just pumping out a brand new ship for you guys to play with every month. It just, I do not have the time or the interest in this game to keep pushing that out. I don't mind playing this game, and I love this game. I played it for years, and I have the best wishes that this game succeeds, but I can wish that all I want. It's up to the developers to see what they want to do, and I really hope this game doesn't just go the way of the dodo, but with some other games on the horizon that have really shone and have really proven what this game could be in a very short time frame. I don't know what's going to happen here with StarMade, but this isn't about me moping, which I keep getting back to, so we're going to keep looking at the ship. First off, you'll notice I've definitely split up this main area, and I really like in here, and I've added another level up there, and one thing I thought was pretty cool, I probably have seen this before, it's probably why I've got this idea, so I don't know whether this is an original Surge idea, but it is a pretty cool idea nonetheless. So you'll notice that this here force field is connected to this light button here, which is, not exciting, but if you notice there's something a little bit off about this button. It isn't lit the same way as the other objects next to it, and that's because it's actually docked entity, and it's actually docked onto the ground there. And that's so that when I press a button, only the owner of the ship has access to that. Now, if you've got one of these ships, because I've given you one, and you haven't set this up, all you've got to do is you've just got to get into build mode. Let's jump in real quick. Get into build mode and jump underneath the floorboard here. You will see this docked entity. Just press the scroll to actually jump in there. So you just got to be targeting it, and you got to jump inside there. And what you can do then is once you're inside this, you can actually fiddle with, let me turn on the HUD, that, and what you can do is make sure that is set to permission owner. I think I've set that by default, so if you faction the whole ship, that should change that. But just make sure that this docked entity is faction owner. You don't have to, it's purely a bit of fun, but what it will allow you to do is if you are on the ship and you are boarded, or there's you don't want people getting in here for whatever reason, role play or whatever reason, people will not be able to come up to this and just open it up like you will, because they won't have access, even if they're in your faction. So it kind of locks the cockpit for you. Just a bit of roleplay, realistically. And I like adding that to my ships. So we got these boxes just kind of littered around, just filling in the blanks. And that's really important with design, guys. You want to fill in the blanks. You can't have seats and flower beds and things just sitting everywhere. It just doesn't make sense on a spaceship. We got some grills going on. Some piping again, just small details like that. And these things are sort of, I don't know what these are, but they look cool. They're just there, again, filling in those blank spaces. And you'll notice I got these ladders. These ladders actually take you up to another level. If you go up to this level here, whoops, it is short enough for you to jump up. This is sort of like a comms level, where you'll have a couple of navigators, or a single navigator, or whoever working behind what the pilot does, because it's a spaceship, it's a fairly big spaceship, so you've got to have a few people rather than just the pilot, or the captain, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to turn off the HUD again. So this here looks pretty cool. You can walk through, and this down here, there's a whole floor down here. I'm not gonna go in the elevator just yet. Now, I haven't got this perfected. I've handed out the ship as it is already, But this idea is, I gotta get it looking a little bit more fancy with some fancy text or something. But the idea is that you're supposed to be able to follow where it is. So that first one actually isn't meant to say moving, it's meant to say elevator. And this one here is supposed to say where the actual thing is. So it'll tell you where the elevator is and where it's going. I really lost interest when I was getting to that point, and I started working on a different project. So I'll probably come back and fiddle with the logic on that later. It's all set up and ready to go. It just has to be, connected properly. So running around on this floor, it is the same floor. So it's symmetrical on both sides, because on both sides you have an exit connected with some, sealed up with some water here to keep the atmosphere in. So you press this button, nice and simple, and the door opens up, and you're outside the ship. So yeah, nice and simple like that. There's the wing. We'll get a good look at the ship in a moment. I do want to take you through the interior first, though, because that's what I really like about this ship. The outside looks amazing. It's a bit of a thing I'm trying out, and guys, I'm trying to reinvent myself a little bit here. I want to make sure that I got something new and exciting for you guys. So what we're might do in the future is we have the ship reveal at the end, so you actually get to see the actual ship about midway through before we actually go have a look at the outside of the ship. But I might do ship reviews and ship showcases with actually running through the interior first. So what we're going to do is we're going to send the elevator down just so you can see there is a door there, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, it actually says moving. So it does sort of work, I just haven't got it worked out properly. So it says top floor now, awesome. So we're actually going to get in the elevator, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump down. We're going to take the cargo captain's quarters, and this will go down. It goes down pretty fast, as fast as it possibly can. It's a bit of a gap between the top floor and the next floor, and here we are. So this is the captain's quarters. Just a little kind of foyer area with a light switch right here, which just turns off the lights, nice and simple. And little details like this. This is what I like to do. And whether you guys want to do that or not, that's completely up to you. I don't think those stop modules actually do anything anymore. Are those stop modules or those? I think they're punched through. I don't know. So what we do is we climb up this ladder, and if we turn around, we are in the captain's quarters. So I made it a little bit more fancy, using these ingots, these black ingots. Got some television going on, or screen going up there. You got a computer screen. Very modern. You got this glass coffee table. Oops, fell down the ladder. And some modern art on the wall. I'm pretty proud of this piece. I call it blocks. And you've got this couch going on here, this little leather couch. Yeah, so nice and simple. It's the captain's quarters. You can dress this up however you please if you get your hands on one of these ships. Go nuts, decorate it yourself. You are the captain of this ship, so it is your quarters. So let's go back down into the elevator. We'll go, and this is really simple to understand, guys. Button on the outside calls the elevator. Buttons here, I mean, they're not all labeled. I can label them if I want, I just haven't been bothered. And again, if you get one of these ships, you can do it yourself if you like. I'll probably release a finalized version of this in the future. It's probably when the power update finally, someday in the near future, comes out. But yeah, so we'll hit the middle button here. That'll take us to the next floor down, which I believe, yes, is the cargo bay. The cargo bay is really simple. There is actually cargo blocks here connected to this module, which again, little details like this, that's actually not connected to anything. It's just sort of to look like it's where the cargo is controlled. And there's a call button on the other side there. Now this door actually leads into the station I am currently docked to, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. And if you have a look over there's another docked ship, which you might recognize, that's starting to get a makeover as well, and that's my next project. I'm sort of cut between two projects, working on this station and working on that, and I want to kind of update them for sort of a new start to the game, where I might actually start playing survival for a little bit on the server. I'll give myself a little bit of a kickstart, spawn some assets, and then just start collecting resources. I might even start a brand new faction. I don't know yet. So anyway, we're gonna take the floor back down. Oh, by the way, if you get a hold of one of these ships, there is no button to open this door at all. The door will only open when the ship is docked to one of the two docked entities on the side there. So on the outside, you'll see this when we actually do a ship reveal of the ship on the outside. But yeah, it'll actually only open up while it's docked. And it is docked specially to my station, because my station's, that's my pretty traditional dock that I have there that works on a lot of my ships, if you remember from the Sledge. But the Knight is the new new ship in my main fleet. So let's go down to the final floor, and this is where things get a little bit more fancy. We'll go right back down again. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this build, if it's not obvious. So yeah, so this is sort of like another foyer, little details everywhere you go. Messing around with these ingots, these gray ingots or silver ingots, whatever you want to call them. You got some lights up in there behind the grill. Now this door, yeah, this door is automatic. Yep. Brings us into this room, which does have a light switch here. This is the med bay, nice and simple. You have some liquids going on there. You would lay down in here, have a scan. You can fill that data screen with whatever to make it more meta if you like. And obviously you got your data things. So don't forget to turn off the light, because you do get a good look out the side here. Lovely windows here, and they actually look really good from the outside. I might actually leave that light on. So when we do a ship reveal, you can see it from the outside. But yeah, we're in under the front wing here. Got a lot of windows. I've got this thing with windows, guys. You probably know it already. But if your ship has no windows, it has no soul. No. So in here we've got another door. This door is not automatic. You do have to hit the switch, but it does close itself. And this is just some storage room for now. Again, you can clear out all this, put in what you want, and another light switch there. Nice and simple. So this could be a crew quarters or something. I don't know. It's just storage room for now, just for a bit of meta. And again, the switch is there to open the door. So I tried to keep it as not completely symmetrical. So the sort of interior is symmetrical in most regards, but there is some ways that it is not. For instance, in this room, you'll notice it's immediately not symmetrical. There is a door there, which is automatic. We'll go to that in just a moment. A big table here for meetings, and a big display here for also meetings, I guess, or whatever. This button here will actually open up the teleporter room, which a new design, just for a little bit of fun. I think it looks pretty cool, actually. And the idea is you go in here, you close the door, and now you're safe, and the radiation that teleports you wherever is kept at bay. Or whatever. I really don't know. But yeah, nice and simple. I left a lip of slabs there, so it sort of has the hazard stripe. Make it look a little bit more industrial. In this little archway, which I won't call a door because it doesn't actually have a door on it. This is sort of like an engine maintenance. You get to control a program, and you go over here and you've got, I know, just decorative shit. To put it simply, just interesting stuff that looks like it does things. You'll notice I don't have another display there, and it was really heartbreaking I couldn't put another display there, but you'll see in just a moment why that is. So come back around here, and we'll actually go through this automatic door, which is a bit hit and miss. Is it going to open for me? Yeah, it is. Awesome. So again, with the lip, you can put the lip in there, which, you know, just makes it look a little bit more industrial. So here is the crew quarters. And this is nice and simply put, where your crew would hang out. You got 4 beds, 4 seats at the table here. Little screen in the center if they want to play some, I don't know, hollow chess or something, and a screen on the ceiling. That was ultimately the goal. There was I was gonna have like the night sky or something on there, where it kind of like shows your location. Have like a map of the galaxy where it could show you where you are here, and then actually have it show you the location. And then have like, this is where home is and stuff like that. I don't know. I was just sort of, again, fiddling around with some stuff that I probably won't get back to it for a while, but feel free to have a go at it. Again, if it is, you do get your hands on one of these, have a go, because that's what it's here for. Back through the automatic door, which is proving quite difficult to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right back up, straight into the elevator. Now, navigating this ship is not difficult. You know, there's 3 levels. There's the bridge. Well, there's actually 4 levels. There's the bridge. There is the captain's quarters. There is the level, the cargo level, and then we've got a split level between the crew quarters and maintenance and the med bay areas. So we're going all the way back up to the top. And here we go. So we're back up in here. We're going to jump inside the ship. We're going to do a ship reveal. and let you guys see what's going on. Make sure no crew members can disrupt you while you're in the cockpit in drive mode. Sit down in your seat. Have a bit of a seat there. Sit down. You are the captain after all, or in this case I am. And we're gonna jump into the ship. So let's go into build mode actually. Build mode. So here we go. This is the Knight. Right now it's docked. We'll undock it very shortly. But yeah, you can see that it's changed a lot. I got this crazy looking muzzle on the front there. Added a lot more details to the sort of mohawk that was, the wingy bit mohawk thing that it has on the top. Actually kind of looks like a face now. The screaming mouth is still underneath. It's white at the moment just because I was leaving it white. I might stick with white with a lot of my future builds because it's kind of like a blank canvas, then you can do what you like. You'll notice that I've docked it to this this outpost here, which I've been using for Atlas gates, and I think, yeah, off in the distance there is another green one. But I've been tinkering with this and making it look different. I've also been tinkering with this, which is my jumbo miner, which is actually my only miner, really. I took off the, where are they? Yeah, there we go, the cargo pods. I've started to fill in the engines. I got a lot more work to do on this guy before I'm completely happy with it. It was built in the past in haste on survival mode without any admin powers, so I've gone back and I've started changing a lot of things. Put these guns on the side, which are the guns on the side of that. We're not going to look at that guy because, I'm actually meant to be looking at this beautiful, beautiful thing here. See, you've got these, well, there's the windows from before. There's the med bay window. There's the crew quarters window. And if you have a look on the other side, there you go. They look pretty cool from a distance, They've actually got a cool feel to them when you are flying around. And we'll have a look at that shortly. But the base of this thing looks pretty amazing, too. I went back to a bit of a plated look, with the folded armor. Covered in a few areas. I took out the gun on the bottom, which was ridiculous and didn't actually do anything. The tail gun that it used to have. And I added on these two turrets, which actually look amazing. They're probably not very powerful, but they look cool. This is my own creation, so I'm a little biased, but in all honesty, I actually think this looks pretty incredible. This is probably one of the nicest little turrets I've ever built. Down the bottom here, you obviously got some more anti-missile turrets. I had to fill in this big blank spot at the top, which I'll get to in a moment. And yeah, I just put a lot more little details. New engines. We might actually undock this thing so we can have a proper look. Yeah, let's do that now. So we go on the pilot seat. Ooh, better turn on the HUD. Where am I? Am I in build mode again? I'm in build mode. What's going on? Somehow I've ended up in the station. There we go. Now I'm not in the station anymore. I'm in... Let me change camera angles. There we go. So here we are in the ship. We're going to undock and we're going to fly forward a little bit. There we go. So let's turn off that HUD again. Slow right down. And there we go. So as you notice on the back side here, we'll have a look. We took out that ridiculous looking flag thing. But I did turn that little helmet into the captain's quarters. Look at that. We were actually looking outside of this helmet looking thing before, which is pretty cool. In the back here you got these cool wingy bits that kind of poke out. I've kept the missile tubes out the back there. Put some lights in there, make them look a little bit more menacing. Lots more tubes going on. This whole tail thing looks a whole lot nicer now. Some more AMS on the back there, or AMT, or whatever you want to call them. I kind of took a couple off here, added in these wingy bit things again, and I sort of stuck these turrets here on a... I can't remember who gave me this idea. I remember I was playing with somebody on the server here, and they said, "Now, if you can remind me who that was, whoever it was, you're awesome for convincing me to do it this way." This was such a great idea, sticking a little AMT turret right there, or AM turret right there, because it does look pretty cool having them on an angle. Now, if you're not familiar, you can actually achieve this by docking it to a docked entity that has been docked. a lot of ducking at a 45-degree angle. So you be pretty careful with this, and it does mean that they have a reduced amount of shields, or at least they used to. I don't know whether that's a thing anymore. They changed those systems so much. So I took out the 2 titty guns it used to have. It had those. If you have a look, I'm a bit far away now, but if you have a look there, right there on the station there, that outwards facing gun, it used to have 2 of those on its chest. One on either side, which kind of looked like, Austin Powers titty machine guns. But I've replaced them with these crazy looking mosque skull thingies. Now right now, I mean, ultimately, the ultimate goal is to have those fire missiles, but they don't. They're just there for show right now. And again, if you do decide to do this yourself, do it, because that'd be awesome to see actual missiles firing out of this thing's mouth or eyes. But yeah, the whole thing isn't super powerful. It's pretty to look at, but it's not stupid powerful. It probably won't be until the new systems come out. But yeah, it's taken a big improvement, a big upgrade to this entire thing. Even small changes, just like on the wingtips. Just going back over your old work, guys, is probably the best thing I can recommend you do to improve your detailing skills. Like, building a ship in general is a lot of hard work. But detailing is one of the most... It's difficult to learn because you can get stuck in bad habits. Oh, my light's not blinking. So another thing you probably know if you've watched me now for a bit is I really like blinking lights. And the blinking lights aren't blinking. And that is because... Let's turn on the HUD. Ooh, I'm a bit zoomed out here. I gotta hit this button. Hit this button again. Hit button again. Here we go. So yeah, the blinking lights are supposed to blink. There we go. But yeah, so blinking lights are amazing, guys. They really liven up your build if you've got blinking lights all over the place. I gotta add more blinking lights now that I look at this. It's reminding me that I could probably do with more. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this build overall, and you can probably see why I call it the Knight. I had this crazy idea, and I don't know whether I'm going to go ahead with this, but it's an idea that I don't know. I just sort of had, but the idea is I can have chess pieces, and I have a fleet of chess pieces, one of each kind. So this is the Knight, and I might even make like this kind of look like a rook. With a little costly piece for those who aren't chess initiated or whatever. This is, you would have a bishop and a queen, and pawns, and a king. And the king would be the capital ship or capital station. And you'd have a couple of rooks, which are like big powerhouse stations. And then you'd have bishops, which are like this really, really quick, really powerful sort of attack ship. And then you'd have the queen, which is your destroyer. I don't know, guys. I just had this crazy idea I could do that, but it's time and interest in this game is dwindling, and I don't really think I want to invest that much. But what I have been investing in is some upgrades. So this station, you might be familiar. This is the standard Atlas Depot or outpost, and I've started upgrading it considerably. You can see a lot more windows going on now, which is really important. I've obviously changed the whole thing to white, which if you didn't notice, it used to be green, now it is white. I've got a lot of interior work I'm working on, but I won't go inside because that's a spoiler. Yeah, this part out here is all the same still, pretty much. I'm probably gonna start tearing out like these tubes here and replacing them with more sort of structures being built, like I don't know, skyscrapers or little like houses and stuff like that. So it actually looks like it's this tiny little city or town that's being built into the side of this big tube. I'll probably cut away or move this warp gate just offside of it. Probably make it much bigger. It's enough to fit the Knight through it and actually sit it like here somewhat. Or just have it wrap around on that. I don't know. I'd have to think about where I want to put it, because right now it's a nice, neat little size that fits my miners through quite easily. And technically it fits the knight. You just have to kind of like bend the knight forward and push him through. But yeah, it's a work in progress. I want to put in a whole bunch more interior on this thing. So obviously there's a ton of interior on this, inside here and all in there. But I've got, I just want to get this thing really nice, and the idea will be is I'll start unloading it on players, and I'll say, hey, you want a package? You know, this package contains a nice miner, a nice depot station, which can take you back to your home station, so you can use this as a mining outpost, and even a nice new, destroyer ship here that you can dock to the outside there, or cruiser, or whatever you want to call this thing. But this kind of leads me to the next thing I want to talk about. I don't know how long I've been recording this for, so I don't know whether this will stay in the video, but I'm gonna probably change up how the support for the server will work. Now, before you guys all jump on the comment section, this sounds like microtransactions. I'm gonna agree. It's pretty much me thinking about adding microtransactions in a way to the game, or to our server in a way. So there'll be simple stuff like, I feel like I want my blueprint to spawn, so you jump on the website, you pay for that via PayPal, and then we can do that for you. Now, I don't want to just do that per se. That was just like a really broad example. But I also don't want to make it like pay to win. I don't want people having to go, oh, I don't want to pay all this money, but I have to if I want to win. Because, I don't know, I don't feel like that's a lot of fun. But at the same time, I do not feel like paying every month the nearly $200 it costs to keep the server going. And there's a silver lining there that if we have more money to put on the server, then we can actually have more games on the server without big issues. I was thinking about putting 7 Days to Die on the server. I was thinking about putting other games on the server and actually making more games than just StarMade. And even StarMade, if we have a bigger server, can run better, can have ships of much bigger size. And right now, I'm paying $200 a month to have StarMade, which is a beautifully crafted game that has no interest by gamers or the developer, and is literally a dying game. It is practically dead. People I know in life outside of the internet tell me it's a dead game. They have no interest in playing this game because they see no development. That's a rant for another day anyway. Hopefully this video isn't too long. I'm going to upload this in its entirety, and I might get a chance to edit it. I don't know. But if I don't, I'm sorry, guys. It's been a real struggle just to upload something. It's a mental thing, where you get stuck in a loop of you don't do it and you leave it and you stop doing it. It's a discipline to keep uploading videos. It's a discipline to do many things in life. My room right now is an absolute dump. I mean, it's pretty gross. I have got about 24 empty Corona beer bottles. Jeez Christ, I need to clean my room, guys. Anyway, this has been Surge. I'm hopefully going to keep uploading some more updates. I am going to be working on this station, and let me know in the comments below what you think about the ship, about the station, about the microtransactions, or the other ways to support the server without subscribing. So that's the other thing you got to think about it, guys. If you don't want to subscribe via Patreon or PayPal, then I have to work out other ways, and I don't want to just say donate for the sake of it. I want to give you guys something for doing this, and you can look at this as microtransactions, or you can look at this as donations with benefits. I don't care, really. I would just like there to be minimal cost upkeep a game like this. I don't think I've spent this much playing a game in my life, let alone one that has really this much interest. So anyway, guys, that's about all I'm gonna say. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me. Jump on the jump on the Discord. Oh my God. I haven't done this in ages. Jump on the Discord. That's the best way to contact me. YouTube comments always get through to me. Just, yeah, let me know what you think. That's probably the most important thing, guys. Let me know what you think. I would love for you guys to actually say, no, this shit, Serge, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. But I would also love you guys to actually give me positive feedback, you know? Anyway, I've rattled on long enough. Hope you guys have a great evening. And yeah, I'm signing out, I guess. Goodbye.